As the United States slides deeper into recession territory, there are 12 states that will feel the collapse first. And if you live in one of them, what you are about to hear could seriously protect your financial future. While national news outlets argue back and forth about whether a recession is coming, the data already shows the truth. It's here. 22 states are displaying recession indicators right now, but 12 of them aren't just heading toward contraction, they're standing at the edge of full-scale economic failure. And we're going to take you through the list, from dangerous to absolutely catastrophic. Before we begin, ask yourself something. Do you know which state has barely 2 days of operating reserves before it runs out of money completely? Do you know which state carries the highest foreclosure rate in the entire country, 1 in every 172 homes? Do you know which state has accumulated such a severe budget deficit that every taxpayer effectively owes $44,500 just to keep basic services running? If you don't know the answers, stay with me, because the 12 states we're about to cover are not only facing collapse, they're reshaping where the next decade's biggest investment losses and biggest opportunities will appear. And yes, there are opportunities. Some markets are already selling at 40% below their 2022 peaks. Some commercial properties will offer triple-digit returns as the refinancing crisis accelerates. And there is a very specific timeline of when smart investors should move to avoid risk and position themselves correctly. Before we continue, please take 1 second to subscribe to Maple States. Your support helps our calm, fact-based reporting reach more viewers, and we're pushing hard toward our first 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Now, let's continue. Number 12 is Connecticut. This state carries one of the heaviest taxpayer burdens in America, $44,500 per person, and needs over $60 billion to pay its outstanding obligations. Foreclosures sit at 1 in every 306 homes, and office vacancy in Fairfield County has climbed above 27%. There are limited pockets of value in Hartford, but the coastal corridor is a complete trap with declining demand and rising insurance costs. Number 11 is Maryland. The state lost its AAA credit rating for the first time in decades as Moody's flagged its dependence on federal spending. Nearly 30,000 federal jobs in Maryland are exposed to budget cuts. Baltimore alone holds dozens of REO properties, and foreclosure discounts of 30% or more are already appearing in Prince George's County. The right investors can find opportunities, but the broader market remains fragile. Number 10 is Oregon. The state's revenue forecast shows near-zero growth and unemployment remains elevated. Portland ranks last among the top 100 metro areas, with falling prices, shrinking sales volume, and office vacancies above 20%. Analysts expect another major correction before stabilization. Suburban single-family homes may offer value later, but not yet. Number 9 is Alaska. Nearly half of Alaska's spending is funded by Washington, and the state continues to lose thousands of residents every year. Median home prices in Anchorage continue to rise despite population loss, creating a classic value trap. There is no realistic catalyst for recovery, and the state's vulnerability score remains among the worst in the country. Number 8 is New Mexico. With federal dependence above 40% and more than 20,000 government workers exposed to cuts, the state faces a dangerous combination of shrinking demand and rising foreclosures. Albuquerque home sales have fallen sharply, and inventory is rising at a pace that signals deeper weakness ahead. Oil price volatility only adds to the instability. Number 7 is Mississippi. The state struggles with extremely low labor force participation and one of the lowest median household incomes in America. Forecasts show double-digit home price declines in some of its weakest cities. With no structural growth drivers, the long-term picture remains negative, making the market largely uninvestable. Number 6 is Nevada. This is currently the fastest cooling housing market in the country. Foreclosure rates are rising, inventory is exploding, and prices in Las Vegas have already begun falling year over year. The job market is losing momentum, unemployment is climbing, and the housing market has not yet reached a bottom. The right time to buy is coming, but not yet. Number 5 is Louisiana. Home prices are falling across key markets, and New Orleans ranks as the worst-performing major housing market in the country. The state relies heavily on federal funds while facing persistent poverty and outmigration. Days on market continue to rise, and inventory continues to increase. Except for extreme distress deals, investors should avoid the area entirely. Number 4 is Illinois. Decades of fiscal mismanagement continued to weigh on the state. Every taxpayer effectively owes nearly $39,000, and unfunded obligations exceed $170 billion. Pensions are deeply underfunded, foreclosure rates are among the highest in the nation, and Chicago's commercial vacancy rates continue rising. Some suburban collar counties offer relative value, but statewide risk remains elevated. Number 3 is New Jersey. This state is operating with only 2 days of financial reserves, the weakest fiscal position in America. Taxpayer burdens are severe, pension funding is dangerously low, and foreclosure rates remain high. With median home prices rising far faster than incomes, the market is showing clear bubble behavior. Only deep foreclosure discounts make sense here. Number 2 is Florida. This is where distressed opportunity meets extreme overvaluation. 9 Florida markets are among the most overpriced in the nation. Yet the crash has already started in certain cities. Cape Coral is down 10% from its peak. Lakeland carries the highest foreclosure rate in America. Insurance premiums are exploding, and rental vacancies have surged. But Florida's long-term population growth makes selective discounted purchases attractive, especially in Gulf Coast markets where values have already fallen sharply. And number 1 is California. The state faces a massive budget deficit, steep housing unaffordability, rising unemployment, and the largest outmigration in the country. Commercial real estate is collapsing in major cities. San Francisco office vacancy is near 29%, and Los Angeles continues to see large downtown properties fall into foreclosure. Yet these same distressed assets offer enormous long-term upside for the right buyers. Office conversions in California's biggest cities are among the strongest emerging investment plays in the nation. So what does all this mean for investors preparing for the next stage of the recession? First, avoid markets with structural decline, places where population, income, and job creation are unlikely to recover. These are value traps, not opportunities. Second, look closely at markets with temporary stress but strong long-term fundamentals. Florida and parts of California fit this profile, as do selected counties in Oregon and Nevada once their corrections deepen. Third, pay attention to the commercial real estate maturity wall. The largest wave of refinancing distress hits in 2025 and 2026. That is when the biggest discounts will appear. This recession will not hit every state the same way. Some will fall into long-term stagnation, others will generate once-in-a-generation buying opportunities. Knowing the difference before the bottom forms will determine who protects their wealth and who builds new wealth from the crisis ahead.